High achievers are already reviewing and processing their progress. That part is not the problem. The problem is how all that processing might quietly be working against you. Hi, I'm Coach Tony, and this is Ask Coach Tony. These are unfiltered field notes from the goal-crushing life, coaching wins, personal breakthroughs, and the failures that taught both me and my clients the most. All real, all useful, all here to help you move forward. Before we dive in, here's a groan-worthy dad joke as a little palate cleanser. I promise it will be worth every penny you paid for it. I fell in love with a girl who only knew 4 vows. She never knew I existed. This month at Operation Melt, we are focused on pause, process, plan. Last week we talked about the pause. We dug into why stopping to look back is not the same as slowing down, and why measuring how far you've come instead of how far you have left to go is one of the fastest ways to refuel your momentum. This week, we are moving to process. I want to do something a little different today. You're a high achiever. I do not need to sell you on reviewing your progress. You're probably already doing it. So I'm not going to talk about how to review your progress. Instead, I want to talk about the part of the review that might quietly be working against you. When you process your progress, you're doing 2 things at once. You're looking at the facts, and then you're building a story around what those facts mean. Here's what most high achievers miss. The facts are fixed. The story is not. You get to own your story, and the story you choose matters more than you might think. If you look at your progress and focus on every missed target, every stalled goal, every place you fell short, you're telling yourself a story about someone who's behind. That story is a demotivator. It quietly drains the energy you need to move forward. But if you look at that same progress and focus on the wins, what you've learned and what you proved to yourself, you're telling yourself a different story. That story amplifies your momentum and fuels the next move instead of undermining it. The same facts, completely different story, completely different outcome. This is something I work through with my clients all the time. I hear them walk me through their progress and I hear what they're saying, but I also hear the story they are telling themselves about it. And more often than not, the story is way harder on them than the facts deserve. So I ask them this question, and I want you to sit with it too. I hear what you're saying, and I hear the story you're telling yourself about it. How might you rewrite that story in a more positive way for yourself? This is not about toxic positivity. It's not about pretending the misses didn't happen. It's about choosing the story that makes you a better, more energized version of yourself going into what comes next. You're not just a reviewer of your progress, you're the narrator. You get to decide what your story is telling you and what the next chapter looks like. Rewriting that story is easier when you do it out loud with people who get it. That is exactly what the March Goal Crusher Coffee Chat is built for. First quarter timeout, pause, process, plan. In this session, we will take an intentional pause to take an honest look at how Q1 went. We will process what is working and what is not. I might even ask you if your story is helping or hurting you in real time. Then we will start to plan our next chapter, so we start Q2 with intention. This virtual coffee chat will feature an informal roundtable discussion where we will each answer one simple question. What is one thing you're proud of from Q1 and one small shift you want to make in Q2? If you're ready to stop being your own harshest critic and start building real momentum for what's next, this conversation is for you. Click below or visit operationmelt.com/coffeechat to save your spot for this free event. Processing your progress is a 2-part exercise, the facts and the story. While the facts are what they are, you're the owner of your story, and this story matters. You can either be a harsh, unrelenting critic, or you can focus on the growth story and be your own biggest cheerleader. Guess which one amplifies your momentum? You're here for a reason. Let's take the next step.